At a recent State of Play, Sony announced Ghost of Yotei. I love Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm very excited for Ghost of Yotei, but a loud minority of people online believe that the game is going to be bad because you're going to be playing as a female protagonist this time. So today, I'm going to be talking through some of my favorite games where you play as a woman. My name is James, and I started this channel simply because I love video games. If that sounds like you, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see more videos just like this one. First two games that I want to quickly mention are actually two of my favorite two games from my favorite series, probably my favorite and then one of my least favorites in the series, and that's Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla. I wasn't going to include these because it does give you a choice of whether or not you want to play as a man or a woman in these games. However, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the actress who plays Cassandra, I think is much better as both the protagonist and as the villain if you choose to play as Alexios. And also, I do feel like it's kind of important that these games are an example that playing as a woman can have pretty much no impact on the way the game plays. So it's not that big of a deal. Next up, we have Kena Bridge of Spirits. And this one, obviously, you play as the character Kena, and you collect these little creatures similar to Pikmin, but not quite Pikmin. It has everything that you want from a 15 to 20 hour game. You've got tiny little puzzles to go. You've got collectibles you can pick up. You've got set piece boss battles that are pretty interesting. And all of that is delivered with such a fresh sense of charm that it really is very nice to play. Up next, we've got the Tomb Raider Trilogy, the rebooted Tomb Raider trilogy that I believe started in 2013. It takes the original Tomb Raider games and kind of grounds it a little bit, brings it down to earth. You're not Lara Croft running around fighting dinosaurs. You are Lara Croft, who is knowledgeable about people and cultures, while also being fearless and strong and emotional and relatable. This rebooted Tomb Raider trilogy is wonderful. That you're missing out if you haven't played these. Up next, we've got The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. I know that in The Last of Us you mostly play as Joel, but there's a great section in there where you get to play as Ellie, and you also do get to play as Ellie in the Left Behind DLC, which is included in there. And then in The Last of Us Part 2, you play as both Ellie and Abby. Both of these games are technical showpieces with characters that feel real, and especially in The Last of Us Part 2, through Abby and Ellie, who you get to play as, you get to see the contrast in their different cultures and the way that they were brought up in this post-apocalyptic world. Up next, we've got a pretty recent one, Star Wars Outlaws, which I'm not going to talk too much about this one because I am still making my way through the game, but I wanted to include it here just because I'm having fun with it. That I really like the character of Kay Vess, and it's really nice to get a female protagonist in the Star Wars universe, especially in Star Wars games. I don't really know of any instances of that happening before. All right, up next, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn, and I guess I could have also included Horizon Forbidden West here, but I like Horizon Zero Dawn more, so I just chose this one. Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously you get to play as Aloy, and through Aloy, you are introduced to lots of different questions, like what happened to this world? Why do the people seem to not have technology, but then there's also robot dinosaurs roaming the world? Through Aloy, you get to find those answers, and I think that's what makes that first game very, very interesting. Up next, we've got an older one, and that is the entire Metroid series. I grabbed Metroid Prime because that's my favorite Metroid game, but you could have stuck any of them in here. So obviously in the Metroid series, you play as Samus the Bounty Hunter. Pretty much every single game is built around Samus being contracted to go and hunt down or investigate something, and I love it. I just think it's so cool. Before I give my final two, if you liked this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I am 36 subscribers away from hitting 300, which I'm trying to hit by the end of this year. Coming up next is Control, set in the same universe as Alan Wake and Quantum Break, the weird sci-fi games that we've come to love over the years, and Control is no exception to that. You play as Jesse Faden, who, at the beginning of the game, is given a new responsibility, and she uses some of that power and responsibility to help her track down her missing brother. Along the way, you're given lots of different skills and abilities, and probably one of the best supernatural powers games that's out there. The very final game that I need to mention is my favorite PS5 game. My favorite PS5 game, Returnal. In Returnal, you play as Celine, who crash lands on a planet, and you play the whole game trying to escape said planet. And over the course of the game, you learn about Celine, and you learn about her history and the emotional baggage that she crashed with, and how that baggage is keeping her there in this endless cycle that she can never seem to escape. And I think that's all I'm going to say about Returnal, because I really want you to go and play it. And that's all I have today, guys. In the comment section, please let me know what games you love that feature a female protagonist. And until next time, the best way to keep up with me is on Twitter and on Instagram at James_Solar. Thanks, guys.